Well, last week wasn't the best week for President Trump, and this week's not starting out too good either. From the Washington Free Beacon. Former Obama officials, loyalists, wage secret campaign to oust Flynn. The abrupt resignation Monday evening of White House National Security Advisor Michael Flynn is the culmination of a secret, months-long campaign by the former Obama administration confidants to handicap President Donald Trump's national security apparatus and preserve the nuclear deal with Iran, according to multiple sources in and out of the White House who described to the Washington Free Beacon a behind-the-scenes effort by these officials to plant a series of damaging stories about Flynn in the national media. The effort, said to include former Obama administration advisor Ben Rhodes, the architect of a separate White House effort to create what he described as a pro-Iran echo chamber, included a small task force of Obama loyalists who deluged media outlets with stories aimed at eroding Flynn's credibility, multiple sources revealed. The operation primarily focused on discrediting Flynn, an opponent of the Iran nuclear deal, in order to handicap the Trump administration's efforts to disclose secret details of the nuclear deal with Iran that had long been hidden by the Obama administration. Insiders familiar with the anti-Flynn campaign told the Free Beacon that these Obama loyalists plotted in the months before Trump's inauguration to establish a set of roadblocks before Trump's national security team, which includes several prominent opponents of diplomacy with Iran. The Free Beacon first reported on this effort in January. Multiple sources closely involved in the situation pointed to a larger, more secretive campaign aimed at discrediting Flynn and undermining the Trump White House. Quote, "It's undeniable that the campaign to discredit Flynn was well underway before Inauguration Day, with a very troublesome and politicized series of leaks designed to undermine him," said one veteran national security advisor with close ties to the White House team. Quote, "This pattern reminds me of the lead up to the Iran deal and probably features some of the same cast of characters." The Free Beacon first reported in January that until its final days in office, the Obama administration hosted several pro-Iran voices who were critical in helping to mislead the American public about the terms of the nuclear agreement. This included a former Iranian government official and the head of the National Iranian American Council, or NIAC, which has been accused of serving as Iran's mouthpiece in Washington, D.C. Since then, top members of the Obama administration's national security team have launched a communications infrastructure after they left the White House and have told reporters they are using that infrastructure to undermine Trump's foreign policy. Quote, "It's actually Ben Rhodes, NIAC, and the Iranian mullahs who are celebrating today," said one veteran foreign policy insider who is close to Flynn in the White House. "They know that the number one target is Iran, and they all knew their little secret agreement with Iran was going to go off the books, so they got rid of Flynn before any of the secret agreements even surfaced. Flynn is now, quote, gone before anybody can see what happened with these secret agreements," and the second insider close to Flynn at the White House. Sources in and out of the White House are concerned that the campaign against Flynn will be extended to other prominent figures in the Trump administration. One senior White House official told the Free Beacon that the leaks targeting the former official were, quote, "not the result of a series of random events." Quote, "The drumbeat of leaks of sensitive material related to General Flynn has been building since he was named to this position," said one official who is a member of the White House National Security Council. Quote, "Late last night was not the result of a series of random events. The president has lost a valuable advisor and we need to make sure this sort of thing does not happen again." Put aside the issue of Flynn himself, that nameless, faceless bureaucrats were able to take out a president's national security advisor based on a campaign of innuendo without evidence should worry every American, the source explained. Quote, "After Trump was inaugurated, some of those people stayed in and some began working from the outside, and they cooperated to keep undermining Trump," the source said, detailing a series of leaks from the White House in the past weeks targeting Flynn. Last night's resignation was their first major win, but unless the Trump people get serious about cleaning house, it won't be the last. And that is absolutely true. There's blood in the water now. They were able to take him down. I'm going to have to wait to make a complete determination for myself, but I don't understand why Trump made this guy resign. From what I've seen, I mean, there's probably more to the story, but this seemed like it could have been a bad call, because now there's blood in the water, and the Democrats are just going to keep on pushing, and they, see this as a huge victory, and now they're going to move on to Steve Bannon and Steve Miller and all these other people who are actually loyal to Trump, and this is trouble. In another article from The Week, and this is a publication, at least this article, the writer of this article, he was not a pro-Trump writer from what I could gather, and it definitely did not seem like he was very fond of General Flynn. So, from The Week, America's spies anonymously took down Michael Flynn. That is deeply worrying. The United States is much better off without Michael Flynn serving as National Security Advisor, which, again, I don't agree with. But no one should be cheering the way he was brought down. The whole episode is evidence of the precipitous and ongoing collapse of America's democratic institutions, not a sign of their resiliency. Flynn's ouster was a soft coup or political assassination engineered by anonymous intelligence community bureaucrats. The results might be salutary, but this isn't the way a liberal democracy is supposed to function. Unelected intelligence analysts work for the president, not the other way around. Far too many Trump critics appear not to care that these intelligence agents leaked highly sensitive information to the press, mostly because Trump critics are pleased with the result. Quote, finally, they say, someone took a stand to expose collusion between the Russians and a senior aide to the president. It is indeed important that someone took such a stand. Again, I don't agree. But it matters greatly who that someone is and how they make their stand. Members of the unelected, unaccountable intelligence community are not the right of someone, especially when they are a target senior aide to the president, especially when they target a senior aide to the president by leaking anonymously to newspapers the content of classified phone intercepts, where the unverified, unsubstantiated information can inflict politically fatal damage almost instantaneously. The leaks are an enormous problem, and in a less polarized context, they would be recognized immediately for what they clearly are, an effort to manipulate public opinion for the sake of achieving a desired political outcome. It's weaponized spin. As Eli Lake of Bloomberg News put it following Flynn's resignation, quote, normally intercepts of U.S. officials and citizens are some of the most tightly held government secrets. This is for good reason. Selectively disclosing details of private conversations monitored by the FBI or NSA gives the permanent state the power to destroy reputations from the cloak of anonymity. This is what police states do. Exactly. And in another article from the Daily Caller, exclusive and final interview, defiant Flynn insists he crossed no lines. Leakers must be prosecuted. In the final hours before his resignation, now former White House National Security Advisor Michael T. Flynn said he, quote, crossed no lines in his discussion with Russia's ambassador, but ultimately he was most concerned about the steady stream of leaks to reporters based on classified information. Quote, in some of these cases, you're talking about stuff that's taken off of a classified system and given to a reporter. That's a crime, Flynn told the Daily Caller News Foundation investigative group during a telephone interview from his White House office on Monday. Quote, you call them leaks, it's a criminal act. This is a crime. It's not just a wink and a nod, Flynn said. Flynn said he didn't know where the leaks originated. Quote, one has to wonder, are they coming out of people in the National Security Council? Are they coming out of people in the intel community or state or defense? Yeah, you gotta wonder for sure. Here's what I know. I know that there's been a lot of criticism of a lot of people on the Trump team, but there's one person in particular who's been squeaky clean for the most part. Old Reince Priebus, the chief of staff. And let me tell you what, I don't trust that guy for a second. And I think this guy could very well be a source of some of these leaks. I wouldn't doubt it for a second. Um, Regardless, there's multiple people, involved in this, and Obama holdouts and all the rest of these left-wing lunatics, basically. Uh, Trump seriously needs to clean house. I mean, this needs to happen. This kind of crap can't keep going on. Mike Flynn, he was going to be a great national security advisor. He did not deserve this, in my view. Like I said, there could be more to the story. Who knows? But this is just ridiculous. President Donald Trump tweeted early Tuesday on leaks from officials within his administration saying, "The real story here is why are there so many illegal leaks coming out of Washington? Will these leaks be happening as I deal on North Korea, etc.?" White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer said at his daily briefing on Tuesday that the president is clearly upset about leaks and that the past leaks affected earlier administrations, including Obama's. Quote, "People who are entrusted with national security secrets, classified information, are leaking it out. That's a real concern for the president," he said. We have to wonder that people who work for our government, who are trusted with classified information, decisional-based materials, are leaking that information out. That, I do believe, is a big story. And again, it absolutely is a big story. And from what I gather, what happened, this is something that normal. Even Krauthammer, or whatever his name is, one of those mainstream media guys, he was even saying that this is normal, this is routine. There's a lot of people actually on the left who aren't just completely hysterical and nuts, who are saying this is normal, this is routine for an incoming national security advisor to speak to his foreign counterparts. He had spoke with something like up to 30 foreign counterparts from different nations, because they were, it's part of the transition period. They're getting accustomed to the new guy who's going to be the national security advisor, and he's starting to build these relationships. And even if the topic of sanctions was brought up, again, that's not something that's that big of a deal, and that's unprecedented. And what they're saying that he violated basically was the Logan Act, which is something that in like over 100 years no one's actually been convicted under the Logan Act. So, I mean, basically the big issue was that he told the Vice President Mike Pence that when he was talking to the Russian ambassador that he didn't discuss sanctions at all. And then after that he backtracked and said that he didn't remember if he had discussed sanctions. And so it turned, the way it's being put out there from the White House is that it's a trust issue, but to me that just doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal to let this guy go. I mean, this guy's a serious patriot. This guy exposed how Obama was funding ISIS, and he basically got fired for that, or had to resign for that before this. So this is ridiculous, and they're not gonna get any leeway for this. I mean, now the Democrats are gonna double down even more, and they're gonna be going after Steve Bannon and everybody else who's loyal to Trump. And right now, this seemed like it was a pretty bad move. And this kind of crap needs to stop. I mean, they need to drop the hammer on the people that are leaking this crap, in my view, because this is unacceptable. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe. I'll definitely be posting more videos. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and may the force be with you.